This is over my house right now. What is that?
It's the million-dollar question baffling New Jersey residents looking skyward.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
Since last month, dozens of drones mysteriously hovering in the skies at night. Near Morris County, the FAA has now ordered 2 temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drones over this military base and Trump National Golf Club after receiving reports of unexplained activity.
Nothing fishy about that, right? These drones are found not only near a military base that's responsible for producing munition products for all branches of the U.S. military, but the drones are also found near Trump's National Golf Club, which he visits.
They are the size of small cars, like almost like a Mini Cooper or a Ford Escape size. So it's not something that a kid is buying off of Amazon and flying around as a prank. Like, it's way, way past that.
There's 180 drones that have been confirmed over New Jersey since November 18th.
And of course, the Pentagon has no idea where these drones are from.
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
And they're saying no threat to Americans.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
But Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew claims something else.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. It's off the east coast of the United States of America.
What is going on? It's SeanDaniel here. We're going to go through it all for you guys based on what the Pentagon says, based on what Jeff Van Drew says, based on what locals are saying, based on what local politicians are saying after their terrible security and intelligence briefing that they received on this drone situation. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing for more. Now let's start with understanding possibly why these drones were seen near Picatinny Arsenal.
Yeah. Where were you last night broadcasting from to wrap up your piece?
Picatinny Arsenal, which is a military base that is responsible for manufacturing munitions that go out to every branch of the U.S. military. And so that's one of the concerns here. These drones are not just flying aimlessly. They are being spotted precariously close to sensitive government sites, and that has people on edge.
Of course people are concerned because this is what they're seeing above their homes, possibly the size of a car. And yet, are they getting any answers from the intelligence entities and intelligence agencies like the Pentagon on possibly what's going on, knowing that these intelligence agencies have billions of dollars behind them, tons and tons of people? Well, let's see what they say.
Sabrina, can you tell me what the Pentagon is doing to address this issue of drone sightings over New Jersey? It's near sensitive installations. The FBI is involved. What is the Pentagon doing?
Sure. So at this time, aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Now, before we see the full explanation from Congressman Jeff Van Drew on why he claims what he claims about Iran, let's break down quickly what this woman just said. First of all, do you trust the Pentagon, if this was a national security issue, if this was Iranian drones, do you trust them to tell us the truth? No, because it would be embarrassing to them that they allowed Iranian drones not only to fly near Trump's National Golf Club, but near the military base that produces munition for all the branches of the government. Now, what does munitions mean? I had to look it up. I know what ammunition is, but that means military weapons they produce, ammunition, equipment, and stores. So basically everything that the military produces. She also said this.
At no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
I don't know what installation means, but she's saying basically nothing bad or catastrophic happened or nothing was interfered with. But these things could possibly still be surveying or were surveying over this important military base. And she also downplays it by saying that local law enforcement is dealing with this situation. You're telling me the FBI is not looking into this? I don't trust whatever she says. Now let's hear the congressman's full explanation.
In focus now, Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. You know, I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, you know, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine, or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
Now, we don't know what they are, and it's very weird that the Pentagon is not telling us what it is. But Jeff's claim about his sources telling him that it's from Iran could make sense, especially with the proximity of these drones to President-elect Trump's golf club, because the DOJ announced previously that they went through with charges in the Iranian plot to kill Donald Trump. There was an assassination plot discovered based from Iran to kill Donald Trump. That lines up with the logic of this could be Iran running these drones. But it's not just me and you that don't have answers. It's even New Jersey elected officials, mayors, state representatives, lawmakers that just got a security briefing about this whole situation, and they don't even have answers after the meeting.
All right, so Tony, you were in this meeting. How'd it go?
To say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. The lead investigators, everyone that has contacted our offices, mayors across the state, have been told to contact the FBI, and yet the FBI was not in this briefing.
And they were supposed to be?
Yes, we were all told on Monday night when we received the invitation for this briefing that the FBI, state police, and Homeland Security was going to be present. They called it an oversight. I'm not sure how you look over the lead investigators for this ongoing situation, but disappointing.
What did you learn?
Well, we learned that not much, actually, that the state police and the Department of Homeland Security know very little than what has already been reported. But they do state that there's 180 drones that have been confirmed over New Jersey since November 18th. The fact that these drones have a battery life that they're projecting at 6 to 8 hours, which is unbelievable. We're not talking about these drones, that you buy on Amazon. And we're talking about commercial military grade drones that are flying over our military installations, over our infrastructure, our electrical grid, our water reservoirs.
Was there any conversation in there today about where these drones might be originating?
They have tried to track them, but the state police say that they have been unable to track exactly where they're launching and landing. I know that there's been some recent reports out there that there's a ship off the coast of New Jersey where they're all coming from, but they had no information to confirm that.
Wow, that's upsetting. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I think that it's about time that the federal government stops slow-stepping this process and gets out here to New Jersey to figure out what is happening. It's happening in New York. It's happened in Virginia in the past. I found out last year. We need to stop pretending like this isn't a situation that needs the public's attention. We need to stop calling it not an imminent threat, because until you tell me where they are launching from, where they are coming from, who is responsible for them, I can't tell you that they're not an imminent threat. And I'm not going to lie to my residents and say that this isn't a situation that is concerning.
He said 180 drones in basically about the past month over New Jersey. I'm guessing the context means these drones that they don't know where they're coming from or where they're launching from. If that's what he means, they still don't know? Oh, yeah, okay, give me a break. But yet they claim it's not an imminent danger. We're not stupid.
You were just inside. You walked out. Why?
I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen about anything, okay? It was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it, but they say there's no credible threat. It was annoying to be there. I drove 2 hours to be here today, spent an hour in there. I got to drive 2 hours back. The biggest waste of 5 hours in my entire life.
So why do you think they called this meeting?
No idea. Why would you call a meeting to tell people you don't know anything? I have no idea. And then when the legislators would ask questions, there were no answers. Here's the most frustrating part. The colonel of the state police said that he had a helicopter of his flying over above one of these drones, a 6-foot drone or something. I can't remember exactly what he said. And he felt unsafe for his helicopter, so he just let it go. Just let it go. Where'd it go? Who knows? You know, didn't want to follow it because you didn't feel safe. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? I mean, honestly.
Do they have any idea where these drones are originating?
No, they don't. They would. Maybe if they followed that sucker to when it landed, they would know, but they don't. This is a complete lack of effort, in my opinion, on trying to figure this out. This is not about ability. We have the technology, we have the people, we have the training, we have the resources, we have the money. It's just a lack of effort. I mean,
why?
I don't know. They should be saying, you know what they should have done today with productive use of our time if they didn't know anything? Come in there and say, hey, legislators, we don't know anything. But if you get us these 10 things, do these 10 things for us, and the governor calls in this kind of action, we can figure it out. Will you help us? And then we would have helped them. But instead it was just excuse after excuse and we know nothing. It was infuriating, and I got up and I walked out.
You've been in the service, right?
Yeah, I was an attack helicopter pilot, Apache helicopter pilot in the Army, and I helped stand up the initial unmanned aircraft training battalion in the aviation sector of the Army. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and these guys are not doing the job they need to do to figure out what's going on, and that is the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and the state police.
And they're saying no threat to Americans.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing. When I walked in here today, I was actually pretty calm. I was excited to be here to find out a couple things. I thought they'd be like, hey, listen, it's FedEx, trying to figure it out. But instead, I got the most ridiculous amateur hour briefing I've ever sat through.
So even if they know where these drones are coming from, they're not telling us. And they're not even telling the lawmakers in the state where these drones are hovering. So they're not telling anybody, or they really don't know. What? Why aren't these drones being taken down? Why aren't there other things being flown by the U.S. government near these drones to guide them down or follow them around? Why wouldn't they follow them around? Maybe they're tracking them in some other way. They have to be able to track that stuff. The technology is just too advanced. The air traffic control technology is just too advanced from the small amount I know. So for them to not have an idea, they don't know, that can't be true. They must know what's going on. They're just not revealing it to the public. Maybe because it makes them look bad. Maybe because it ties into something they're doing. I don't know. But what do you guys think is going on? Do you think they're lying to us, or do you think they really don't know what the hell these drones are and where they come from? It's Sean Daniel here. If you guys enjoyed the video, consider subscribing or joining my YouTube membership by hitting that join button down below. It's a small way which you can support me, and I will see you in the next video.